Welcome to Moving the Magnets for the game between the Pies and the Eagles at Marvel. Plenty of selection dilemmas going into the teams being released at 6:20. A few of the questions that we must be wondering about are what's happening with our forwards. Fly in his press conference suggested that they're not going to rest any players or manage any players. So do we play with Membry, McStay, and Myercheck plus West? Maynard is not available. He's got one more week left in him before he ticks off the final boxes required for him to return to AFL. So, fortunately for someone who has been pretty much our best player in the VFL, barring maybe Charlie West, if you want to throw him into the mix, there is Charlie Dean, one of the best players in the VFL all season long. We just weren't sure how he would afford this opportunity that he probably deserves and will probably get in another team in 2025. And it's come down to Bruzzy Maynard not being available. So I think if Bruzzy is available, we probably wouldn't see Charlie Dean. We would play small. But without Bruzzy and Billy Frampton, I think now comes the time where we have to bring in Charlie Dean to have some sort of height in our backline. In the preview, we talked about and what we've seen in the season so far when Darcy Moore hasn't been available. We've seen us play small. But yeah, I think the final straw that broke the camel's back was the fact that Bruzzy and Billy Frampton are both unavailable. Good evening, everyone. How we doing? Andoni, Yasu, Benny, my man, Stefanos, Mello, Half-Eaten Dim Sim, and Boston, the prisoner of all. Sup, mate? Big fan from Sydney. Go Pies. Mate, love it. Love it. Love to see Pies fans interstate. Although I don't have fond memories of Sydney, my friend. I went there for 2022 for the prelim. I went there on a bus. Yeah. Should I say anything more? Or do you know what I mean? Reza, what's going on? Half-Eaten Dim Sim wants the Malacca. We'll get him on at some point. I actually haven't seen him in the chat. He might not even be awake. No, he isn't. He's actually in the Discord. He's waiting. He's patiently waiting. He'll give us a rev up. Dean is just next cab off the rank. Yeah, pretty much. I wonder what. Same conversation around Charlie West. Different position. It's like, what will it take for Charlie Dean to keep his position? Does he play so well that he keeps Billy Frampton out? I'm a little bit worried about the Billy Frampton injury because of how well he's been going, and now that's been stifled due to the injury. Does Billy Frampton come back the same man? So we'll see. Hold the phone. I'm back. Collingwood fan, welcome. Good to see the familiar faces as per. I love the Melb Collingwood chant the most. Good man, Boston. Good man. Yeah. Yeah, so the Dim Sim. All right, let's get the Mullock on. Let's not make him wait any longer, huh? Ella.
Hello, Malacca.
What have you got for me, mate?
Hello, Malacca. What are you doing, buddy?
Pois é.
You guys are Malacca. You ready for some action?
Hello to Charlie Dean.
Hello there, Dean. Next cab off the rank, mate. Simple as that.
Fuck, his opportunity finally came, huh?
Yeah, because he's next cab off the rank there. That's why. No, there's no other options. TJ's injured, so it's Dean. But we'll cover him. It's good by the coach. They're taking time with Bruzzy. We're not rushing him back. No need for stupid decisions. They're not going to rush him back now. There's no need to rush him back against West Coast.
No, I mean, and Charlie Dean probably deserves the opportunity the way he's been playing. And, do you remember when he played last year?
Yeah, great kick. Remember I told you?
Yeah,
he's got a good kick on him. He just has to build, just has to get a bit stronger in the contest. That's all.
Yeah, he didn't survive, did he?
Yeah, because he was getting monstered today. That's why. He was getting monstered, bro.
Remember that one of the games that he got monstered in. Who did he play against? Who was it? Who announced it? Who has announced himself this year? But we probably didn't.
It was at the MCG. There, I was buzzing.
Yeah,
it was at the MCG. There, I was buzzing.
Who was it?
I think it was MCG. Yeah, he got monstered. I don't know who it was.
Sam Darcy.
Yeah, but that was the coach's fault. They put him on the best forward. He's got to be playing on the third forward there.
Yeah,
not on the key forwards.
Correct.
He was too small back then.
Correct. And we probably didn't know. We didn't realize that Sam Darcy was as good as he is right now. Yeah. So we look back at that when he got absolutely trounced by him, and we go, oh, you know what? Some of the games.
No, there was another game. His first game wasn't against Sam Darcy. It was against someone else.
St Kilda.
I don't know. It wasn't against Sam Darcy. This is before Sam.
The point
stands. This is before Sam Darcy started playing there.
Those games where Charlie Dean was playing last year, we were all horrible anyways. Billy Frampton wasn't great last year because our team wasn't great. So now, what does Charlie Dean look like in a fully functioning side?
Exactly. Well, he's not playing against monsters, so we'll see. He might not give us the full complement of what he's really about because he's playing against young kids. He's not going to be playing against monsters.
Yeah. So
we don't.
I was going to ask, and because I put this question forward to you on Monday or Tuesday or something Tuesday I think it was perhaps.
Monday.
What does it take for Charlie Dean to keep his spot in the side for the next 6 to 8 weeks?
Charlie Dean will keep his spot as long as Frampton's out. But as soon as Frampton's ready, he can't. Frampton comes straight back in.
Can you have Charlie Dean and Billy Frampton in the same side together with Darcy Moore?
There's no need. But there's no need.
What if Charlie Dean's playing really good footy? Like what if Charlie West is kicking 3-4 goals a game? Like what? That's the same conversation, no?
Yes, but for Charlie Dean to stay in the side, he's got to be taking 3-4 intercept marks a week.
Yeah, and
keeping his opposition to 0 goals.
Yeah,
for Dean to stay in the side. Otherwise, you bring Frampton back, and if Reef McGuinness was fit, Dean would be down the bottom of the cab on the rank. If Reef was fit now, Reef will come back in. See?
Yeah. We'll see. It's exciting. It's exciting. I want to see. I think, if we're all being honest, this is probably close to the last opportunity for Charlie Dean to prove himself. I think he's in his final year of contract, and that's where he's at right now.
Then now maybe more has to play more defensively now, and he might have to get on the player now. Darcy Moore, he might not be that roaming back man that takes intercept marks. Yeah. He might have to be more accountable. See, but that's all right. Don't worry about it, Bruzzy. They're taking their time with Bruzzy. There's no need to rush him back because if he breaks down again, then we've got bigger problems. That's why they're taking it easy with the players now. They're not rushing players back.
Yep. And Westy, I've got a question. I've just put it into the chat. How many goals for Westy on Saturday, Manny?
If Westy kicked 3 goals.
No, hold on. I've just cooked my my poll. I said, how many goals for Westy? And you know what my answers were? Yes or no. Malaka.
Malaka. You know what it is? What? It's simple. If Westy's the best performed power forward on the night, he can't get dropped. So whoever doesn't perform better than Westy needs to go out of the side. Simple as that. Doesn't matter how many goals he kicks.
All right, I've adjusted it. How many goals to Westy? 1, 2, 3, or 0? And where it says 0, it's brackets. I hate Collingwood.
Yeah, if it's 0, like you said on your preview, if it's 0, like you said on your preview, he's going back. Well, no one's arguing about that. He goes back to the VFL and he gets better. No, you said it today on your preview. But if he kicks 2-3 goals and he's the best forward on the field, the best tall forward on the field, he keeps his spot. Because don't forget, it's his first game, bro. It's his first game. If he can kick 4 goals in his first game, when the speed's different and the game's different in AFL level, he's done well, mate. He's done real well.
I just don't understand how they're going to structure this team with him in the side.
Yeah, they might go. We might go really tall because we're playing West Coast. Because we're playing West Coast, they might pull some tricks. But if it was any other sort, 3 tall forwards like what do you call it? Of the Crows side. So see the memory, you'll see the 3 tall forwards because we're playing West Coast. So it might be a decoy. Because we're playing West Coast, they might play all the tools because they think we're going to get away with a win. See?
Yep. I'm just trying to fix the stream. 1 second, because I've got too many tabs on open apparently. 1 second. Should be better. Hello.
Now we've got time.
Should be better now.
About can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, about the Nick Daicos. I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
The Nick Daicos Malaki that come out today.
Hold up 1 second, bro. All right. Hold on. I think we're live again. I don't know what happened. OBS, yeah, the streaming software. Manny's Adelaide internet must have fucking filtered into the internet connection I have. So we're back though. We're back. So you talk about Nick Daicos and the Tassie Devils, and they
what are you thinking?
Well, I mean they took a little piece out of what he said, and if your nickname's Nick Daicos and you say we'll see at the end of his contract, of course they're going to blow that out of proportion.
Yeah, but what do you think? No, I know that. What do you think about? What do you think about him leaving? Do you think he's going to leave?
Well, I mean, fuck, anything's possible, but right now, then why does it matter?
It doesn't matter. He'll give up. He'll give up being an all-time great. He won't be an all-time great if he leaves. He won't be a great. It will be fuck all.
Yeah. I mean, like I don't know how big this has been blown up in Media Street, but like for me, it's a real answer. You want a real answer, or do you want him to say? Do you want him to say, look, honestly, I'm not too sure. I haven't even thought that far ahead. Or do you want him to say, or lie through his teeth and say, I want to be a Pie for life, and then look stupid when he maybe moves on? Not saying he will, but I'm just saying.
I want him to say he's going to be a fucking Collingwood captain, all-time great. That's what I want him to fucking say.
I'd rather he show us that he does that rather than tell us.
Exactly. Who's the coach said that not many players are coming. They're not going to rest Pendlebury and that. They're not going to rest players. There's no need to rest them. They just come back from Byron Bay. They had 21 days off. So it looks like the team will stay the same.
Consider turning down video setting. I don't know. Hold on 1 second. I think it's a setting I've set up here, bro. Low buffering. Pogamoto, 1 second, bro. I figured it out. I think it's this Malakia, man.
Malaka should have figured it out by now. They're young all the time.
What? Sometimes it just comes at me with Malakia, man.
It could be the YouTube as well there when there's heaps of people on YouTube with buffers.
Nah, bro. All right, well, I'm not freezing so much right now, but yeah, green screen's gone. Anyway, the poll says, so we said how many goals to Westy, and 46% say 3+. Somebody did select 0, so I don't know what's going on there. Yeah.
You know what could happen as well?
Tell me.
I was thinking they could have done. They could have left Dean out. They could have left Dean out and put my chick in the back line and kept West in the side as well. We could do that as well. We've got more options.
Yeah,
it's not all doom and gloom. There's options available.
Yeah, I thought you could do that, right? You could put my check in the back line. You could put McStay in the back line. You could rest Darcy Cameron and put McStay in a ruck because they don't really have. I mean, they got Flynn, but Fire's already said he's not going to rest players. He's not going to manage players. And seemingly he won't put any of our forwards in the back line. So either, like you said, we play with 4 forwards or someone's getting dropped that we don't know about.
They're going to play. They're going to rotate them off. They'll be rotating off the bench. There'll never be 4. There'll never be 4 tall forwards on the field at once. One will always be on the bench. You know what I mean?
I think we're going to find out about Charlie West's pressure at ground level. He's 6'4", so he's not a key. He's not 6'6" like.
Yeah, same size as my check.
Yeah. So maybe if he can apply pressure, that negates the fact that or balances his pressuring act. You see Tim Membry, Myercheck, their pressure's pretty good.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, good down on the ground. You got to be ground level players as well.
Yeah. The judge in the chat says, "Will Westy start or come as the sub?" I think he starts. What about you, Manny?
Well, previous games with the coach, people haven't worked it out yet. He never plays first game as a sub. It's happened how many times now? He always plays. He always gives them full games.
Yeah, debutants typically they get them to start.
Yeah, you give him a full game. He might start him out of the square. He might put him straight into the square. A full forward, running straight out, power forward. Tell him, Malaka, hey, listen, Malaka. Hey, if we pull off a miracle here, we've got to pick 50 as a power forward for the next 15 years, mate. We've pulled the draft team has pulled off a miracle. Shane O'Brien's on there as well. Shane O'Brien's part of it as well. If they pulled off a miracle, we've got a power forward for the next 15 years at pick 50. We're laughing, buddy. We're laughing.
Yeah. Well, Shane O'Brien came on after we recruited Charlie West. So a lot of the credit goes to the pre-existing team, along with Justin Lepich, right?
Yeah, Lepich, yeah.
Peter G says, Myercheck trained the forwards today, and the forward setup was West as a full forward. Hosky or Allen will be sub. I think, yeah, does Lockie Sullivan hold his spot? I mean, that's another thing we're not too sure of tonight.
Oh, put it this way. For us this week, it doesn't really matter because we should get the job done. Do you understand? You know what I mean? So whoever's on the field, whoever's not, we should be fine. It doesn't really matter. We're not really worried about the Eagles. We should be winning by 30, 40 points comfortably.
Yep.
We've got nothing to prove there. What are we going to prove? Even if we beat West Coast by 100
we're
points,
5-5 in our last 10 games. We need to fix that. We don't. They have a better record than us all time, so we need to rectify that.
Yeah, I know that, but they weren't as bad as what they are now. Now they're real bad. Come on.
Yeah, let's make a fucking mockery out of it. Let's make a mockery out of them now. Let's get our record right.
Yeah, all right. But what's it going to achieve? If we beat them by 100 points, what's it going to achieve? Is that going to make us premiership favourites?
No, but history is everything. So when you look back at the record books, you want to see Collingwood in the green against West Coast, not in the red, because we're in the red right now.
Yeah. Yes. I'd rather see Collingwood in the green by 30 points than see Collingwood in the green with fucking 5-6 injuries because we fucking exerted ourselves. That's what I'm worried about. There's no need to do Harlem Globetrotter shit now because we don't need more injuries. Just go out there, playing second gear and get the job done, get the 4 points in the bag, and get the fuck home. For us to beat the Eagles by 100 points, the boys are going to have to play top-notch football. See? That means they're going to have to exert themselves. If they just keep the pace on, just get the job done and get out of there, there won't be no stress fractures or injuries.
Why are we seeing so many injuries at Marvel? Is that true? I've put it in a poll. I mean, if somebody can enlighten me and give me more insight, I don't know why we're seeing. Like, is that just anecdotal and it's recency bias, or is there a real thing about players getting injured at Marvel?
It's a part of the season, bro. It's just part of the season. The bodies start breaking down. That's what happens. The bodies start breaking down. We haven't got that many injuries. We've got a few light tissue injuries.
Concrete base.
They're all tissue ones.
There's a concrete base under the grass.
There's a car park underneath. That's right.
So there is something.
There's a car park underneath.
So there is something to it.
Yeah, we're assuming there is there. How do we fucking know?
What is the difference between the MCG? I'm asking ChatGPT between the MCG surface and the Marvel surface? Question mark.
There's a car park underneath.
So,
and instead of soil like the MCG, brown soil, I think they use that white sand. I think there's white sand underneath, under the turf.
let me bring ChatGPT into the picture here. You guys can see. So natural grass, MCG, natural grass, mostly natural, oversown with ryegrass. The feel underfoot is softer, more traditional give, slightly less bounce, can vary naturally with weather, generally consistent but weather dependent with traction. Excellent drainage, lower due to softer turf, roof influence, open air, we know that. Preferred by most players, okay. Surface temperature can retain more heat, especially under the roof. The feel underfoot is firmer, springier feel, noticeably higher bounce, especially at center. High traction, but can cause foot and knee issues. Injury risk historically higher. Ankle, knee concerns. Fast drainage. Yeah, okay. Due to the hardness, so it's definitely harder. Is there?
Yeah, it's harder because there's cement underneath.
Concrete surface.
But I think we're just getting our fair share of injuries now. Yeah, I don't think it's a big conspiracy. I think we're just getting our fair share of injuries now. Every club's getting them.
So the base layer is a concrete slab. Shock pad plus drainage layers, eclipse, stabilized turf, hybrid, natural and synthetic grass. The concrete base allows Marvel Stadium to be a multi-purpose venue for concerts and events. However, this contributes to the harder feel of the surface, which is less forgiving than the MCG's natural soil foundation. Players often report soreness or increased joint stress after games at Marvel, especially with those with history of lower limb injuries. There you go.
Well, the only one that we're really worried about is Frampton. The rest are coming back there. Schultz is coming back next week or a couple of weeks, and then what's his name's coming back? McCreary. The only one that's a long termer for us is Frampton.
Dim Sim goes, the ground is shit. Yeah, Frampton, McCreary, Lockie Schultz, like soft tissues are.
Yeah, but they're closer.
They're closer, but they're like, who's to say the recurrence of injury isn't there? Like, it's the likelihood of a relapse in or another injury to the soft tissue that's injured, like the hammy or whatever. There's a higher incidence there. So do they get a clean run once they come back?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem, bro. We don't know. We're assuming. That's what I'm saying. Schultz has been breaking down this year. He's already had 2 hamstrings. That's the problem. That's why we don't want to go out against West Coast and give it full ball and get more fucking injuries. That's why if we could take it easy with them and win by 20, 30 points and just do what we have to do and get out of there, it'd be better.
That's it. Just get the fucking win. No injuries. Jesse's in the chat. He's come to run amok. You know who Jesse is, Manny? From True Footy / True Eagle? He's in here. He goes, Archer Reid to kick 8 and Tyler Brockman to have a career high 11 possessions.
He's a West Coast supporter. He loses every week.
I like him, but I hate him this weekend.
Yeah, poor cunt.
He's a prick, yeah.
He does it hard, mate. He does it hard, mate. He does it hard.
He does.
He's West Coast supporter. I've seen his content.
Yeah, he's look, he's come in. He's asking for a light game on the weekend. Well, we can't control that.
That's what we're asking. We want to go. We want to go 10 points on top of the ladder. 10 points on top of the ladder. Get the job done. It's our turn now to get the shit kickers. Everyone else has played them. Now it's our turn to get them. So that's the way it goes.
They're going to feel the difference between a Collingwood and Carlton side, aren't they? In back-to-back weeks. But look, no Allen, no Waterman, no McGovern, no Yo. I don't know what they did with Elliot Yo. They've cooked that contract. They may as well tear it up. I don't know. They're a bit, yeah. They're a bit, at the moment. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but our boys are smart, bro. Trust me, our boys are smart. They know. They know that we don't have to play our best footy to beat West Coast. Carlton has lost that many games. They want to make an example of them, right? So they can show something. Our players know. The boys know. You think they're dumb? They know when they're going out to play West Coast, they don't have to be at full performance. But if things start getting shaky, that's when they put the foot down. It's just common sense, bro. You know for a fact, like we do as supporters. As supporters, we know that we could beat West Coast in second gear. We know it. The players know it as well.
If West Coast beat Collingwood at Marvel, right, they will be dubbed the best 18th placed team to ever field a side in the AFL. That's facts.
And for West Coast to beat Collingwood at Marvel with our side, West Coast
they did it. They did it in
22.
They must say 17-4. Right.
West Coast. Yeah,
17 goals, 4 behind.
About it. That was it. Yeah, I don't think Flo was coaching us then. It was
2022. It was 2021.
Buckley or was it? Yeah, 2021. It was, what's his name? Buckley or was the caretaker coach? What's his name?
Harvey. So I've got it here. Hold on.
Yeah, remember Harvey too?
Yeah, it's 2022. McRae was there. That was the end of them, really. I mean,
was he?
Yeah, 2022. It was 10 goals, 14, 74 to 14-3, 87. I don't know if they will... See, Jesse thinks they were worse in 22, but they still... If we look at that team, they had Josh Kennedy, Jack Darling. They still had Shannon Hearn, Elliot Yeo, Tim Kelly, like players in a better position, no? I'm gonna fact check that.
Exactly. Now they've got young kids.
They're worse.
Now they've got young kids in there.
They're worse this year, for sure.
Yeah,
come on, Jesse. You can't believe they were worse back then.
What was the win record in 22 there? What was the win record in 22?
Doesn't matter. Their team was like better back then, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they had a better win record, their team was better. Now they've only won one game for the season, bro. They're shit kickers. They only won one game in the season. Who'd they beat?
Nah. Jesse's tripping.
They only beat one side.
Jesse, look at this. Look at this, yeah? Let me make Mini-Me a little bit bigger, yeah? So this was the team way back when that we played against the Eagles in 22. Shannon Hearn, Barras, Witherden, McGovern, Duggan, any other familiar names? Willie Rioli, Jack Darling, Jake Waterman, Liam Ryan, Josh Kennedy, Jermaine Jones. You still had Nick Naitanui. That's still a pretty good...
Exactly.
This team is definitely better than the one we're facing this week, for sure.
What are all those players, eh? What are all those players? What are they?
You say it best. You call them... which ones? The ones we have reversing or the ones that in 22?
The ones you're looking at now in 2022. You know what they all are?
They were champions, to be honest.
Premiership players are there. Premiership players.
They were champions, yeah.
Yeah. For West Coast to beat us, we're going to play like absolute merda shit kickers, right? They're going to give us full-blown pressure, and they're going to play their best game of the season to beat us. The odds of that happening is very, very fucking low.
Yeah.
Very low.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Jesse, you reckon you'll get Ed Allen? Do you reckon he comes to West Coast? What do you reckon? So what's his connection there, Manny? Did Ed Allen's dad play for the Eagles or the Waffle? Or?
Yeah, Fremantle. His dad started at Hawthorn, then he went back to Perth, played for Fremantle. He's old man.
All right. Yeah, no, that's the scary thing. Jesse says, piss taken aside, no one thinks West Coast is going to win this game, but yeah. Look, I don't know how long you've been in here, Jesse, but you guys still have a better record than us overall, history-wise, and in our last 10, we're 5-5. So there's something to play for here, for both sides.
Jesse, watching West Coast every week like I do. Jesse, watching West Coast like I do every week. You're a good 5-6 years away to even get close to the 8. Yeah.
Cop that, lad.
They're 5-6 years to the 8. 5-6 years to get close to the 8. Right? Harley Reid's not a superstar. There's no way. There's no way as a club I'm paying Harley Reid $2 million a season. There's no way on earth. Second of all, they've got players in West Coast that don't want to play. They don't want to be there. The tackles and the effort is atrocious.
Come on,
Some
bro.
of the effort that I've seen,
go easy
and
on
some of the
them.
shit that goes.
Go easy on them, Malaka. They're
Just being
injured,
honest.
mate.
They're not injured today. The kids are not good enough, bro. I watch them. The effort and their hunger, they're not good enough. They've got a couple good young kids, like Edwards, young tall forward Edwards. They've got a good back defender, young one Edwards. They've got that. They've got a couple midfielders that they've brought in. Harley Reid's up and down. So yeah, they've got a lot of problems, mate. Don't worry about that.
Okay, so they got Elliot Yeo, who's probably finished. He says 3 to 5 weeks. They've got
Elliot is finished.
He's done. They got Jake Waterman. Waterman's good. Come on. You know, actually,
Waterman's good.
You know, their injury. I mean, McGovern's no longer on the injury list, but their injury list is no. Like our injury list, ironically, is bigger than theirs. Facts.
That's what I'm saying. They've got years. They've got years before they do anything. Eh? Telling you, years. 5-6 years minimum before they get close to the 8.
But
it's been honest.
But in this short time frame, 4 to 5 weeks, they've nearly beaten North, and North have been good. They took it up to Carlton for 3 quarters last week. True. They did pretty. Besides their first quarter, they did pretty damn well against Geelong.
And what about all the other embarrassing losses they've had? They're not chasing. They're not giving effort. They're not tackling. They're dropping the ball. They're scared to put their head over the ball. What about all the other stuff? That's the concerning stuff. Doesn't matter how much you lose by, as long as the boys give full-blown effort. I've seen some games where they give up. Like that Tim Kelly. He'll be out of the team in a couple of years, maybe even next year. So they've got to bring more young kids in. So they've got to keep bringing. Yeah, they've got to keep bringing young kids in. So they've got to keep bringing free agents in and young kids in. So that's what's going to happen. That Graham, they picked up Graham from West Coast. He's done fuck all. Baker's been a good player for him. He's been all right. The Baker from Richmond, he's been good. But they got a lot of work to do. I'm telling you, a lot of work to do. Heaps of work.
All right, let me ask you this. Actually, I got a good question in the poll. I don't know. Is this too crazy? I don't know if I want to make this poll. Who would you rather be? Nah, I'm not going to do it. But I'm curious. The answers must be obvious. But who would you rather be, Carlton or West Coast in this present moment? Would you rather be West Coast, not on the come up yet, but hopefully, you'd think at some point their luck turns, or would you be Carlton in a position where they've almost maxed out with their potential?
I'd rather be West Coast because the salary cap is not overblown. Carlton's salary cap's overblown. They've got 5 players. They got 5 players on $1 million more each. 5 of them. And I'll guarantee you, there's no way that I'll play those 5 players in my team before the players that we got now. Cripps, I'm not playing him in Collingwood. Charlie Curnow, there's no way I'm playing him in Collingwood. Harry McCoy, no way I'm playing him in Collingwood. And Walsh, there's no way I'm playing him in the midfield at Collingwood. There's no fucking way.
Yeah. All right, Malaka.
No way.
I've got to do the teams.
Give me Charlie Curnow for free. Do the teams, are you?
Yeah, I got to do the teams.
Yeah.
All right, Yassel File.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look. Gotta love Manny. The hyperbolic man. He loves his club. That's for sure. I'm intrigued to figure out if we go with West, Membry, Myercheck, and McStay. If we go tall. Very rarely do you see teams go that tall. Like Western Bulldogs last year did that with Sam Darcy, Norden, Ugelhagen. Here we go. Oh, we are. So we are going to go pretty tall. That's facts. Charlie Dean, Charlie West in. Billy Frampton, McCurry out, both due to injuries. Myercheck, 150th game. Anything of note here? Westy's starting. Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I presume to be fair, Membry, West, McStay, and Myercheck are not all going to be on the same field at the same time. So we're going to have that balance at all times, I feel. But, geez, I just feel like we could have done with maybe one more small. Anyways, Sullivan likely to be the sub by the looks of things. Hoskin Elliott, pretty versatile. Jesse's back in full force. Here he is. Yeah, we would have liked. A lot of us were talking about. Can we see Tom Mitchell? Oh, Job Shanahan. All right, before I digress to that, but Tom Mitchell, you would have liked to have seen him come in and see if he's going to be a part of this final series run that we hopefully have, but his name hasn't been called upon in this game. I keep saying the limiting factor for Tom Mitchell is he's not versatile enough. He's a wombat, and that's it. He doesn't have that forward craft. They're not even working him out in the VFL. They're not putting him in the forward line to give him that. Is it a learning curve? I don't know. It just doesn't have that pressure factor, I think, in open play. Yeah, Mark's well off the mark here. Mind the pun. Benny says, congrats, Checkers. 05 and 06 Pies were last and beat West Coast to a top of ladder. Last bottom beat top I can remember. Really? That's a good fact. Huge, Benny. Thanks for the 5, brother. Job Shanahan is someone I actually highlighted in that draft who is he a key forward from memory? Anyhow, he landed at the Eagles, and without Oscar Allen and Waterman, his opportunity has arrived. I'm intrigued with Tom Mitchell. Where do we go from here? Because there's X amount of games remaining this season, and for someone who's been out for over a year at AFL level, how much time, if he is to find an opportunity at AFL level, surely he needs a couple of weeks, if not a few, at least, to find his footing at AFL intensity, conditioning. So that's the concern with Tom Mitchell's name not on this team sheet here. Okay, so Shanahan's a key position forward, but been playing waffle as a back, presumably plays back. Okay. So you're going really small on the forward line. Now, Jack Williams is decent, no? Shanahan's listed at half forward, but that can change. Maybe Harley Reid out of the goal square. Tom McCarthy has looked really good. So that's a positive from the mid-season draft. You know, another mid-season drafter you guys got as well, Jesse, Ryan Marich. Really good. Came in as a forward, and now he's the conductor in your backline. And he's quite tall, but he doesn't really play like a lockdown defender, does he? Does he have defensive craft? I'm not sure, but that's a player you've got from a steal from the draft, and not a steal because he was pick one in the mid-season draft. But if anyone can get games, I know it's West Coast and they're last, but to get games, that many games out of a mid-season draftee like Ryan Marich, it's a good fucking return. Good return. Is there anything else interesting on this list here? Not really. Like I said, it seems like Sullivan will probably be the sub. Emergencies, Will Parker, Oleg Markov, William Hayes. So Tom Mitchell wasn't even really near it. Or not near it, I guess. I think, when are the VFL playing? Are the VFL playing Saturday as well? So maybe there's a reason why he's not an emergency there. Maybe they want more minutes into him and not have to worry about potentially, Marrick's an unaccountable halfback. I'm hoping he's more Gunston than Lukosius long term. Reckon he's a better forward. So he's just there by necessity, but he's a pretty good distributor of the ball. He's got a nice kick. Accountability-wise, I haven't seen much defensive acumen on his behalf, but what he does bring to the side, if he can gel into a side that actually, can bring you something on a week-to-week basis, he might complement it really well. But when you guys are really slender in the back line. Harry Edwards, Sandy Brock, Liam Duggan, Jinby, who was a midfielder but is probably a better backman. He's playing undersized. Harry Edwards is getting better, isn't he? Ruck, have you got Flynn? You do. Keen for tonight's game. Should be a banger. Talent-wise, I mean, like, it's an important game for both teams tonight, so I'll be watching. Just need to find the best role for him. How's Melbourne, man? How's Melbourne? So Jesse, formerly from Perth, was in England, and I think you're in Melbourne now. Should catch up, my friend. Catch up. Not this weekend though, because I don't like you this weekend. Would we take Westy as an assistant next year after they sack him? Maybe a runner? Nah, anyone with their handprints on Carlton, I don't want them. But it happened. Look, assistant coaches, they go through the merry-go-round, don't they? We could always sit McStay at fullback. The thing is, Patrick, I think Fly and the positional coaches are pretty set with McStay, Myercheck, and Membry being forwards. If any of them were to play backline, like on a more full-time basis, we would have seen that in pre-season. We didn't see that at all. So they're all in on that. Last time you guys sliced us up on transition, we're better in that area before, and we will need to... Hold on. And we will need to be... We will need to not get slaughtered. Well, our defensive half transition, our efficiency going inside forward 50 is great. So that's always been a really strong strength of the Pies and the Fly. Our turnover game is obviously immense this year. But we are conceding a great deal of inside 50s, and we're probably not getting it in enough. So it'll be interesting. And by the looks of it, over the course of the season, West Coast in the contest are not great, and Collingwood over the last 6 weeks have probably been the worst team in the contest. But that's a microscopic look at it when it's a reductionist way to look at it. The game is based on many factors beyond just the contest, but we're probably two of the worst sides in the league when it comes to that. So it'll be interesting when it comes to the coal face, the contest within the crux of it all. Yeah, Melbourne traffic, mate, unbelievable. When Shooter back, hopefully, look, he was initially listed at like 4 or 5 weeks or something, wasn't it? Now it's down to potentially 2. Voss at Collingwood, never. Voss and Fly are best mates. Well, how long is Fly? I remember last year at some point he said, yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to be in the game forever. So how long does Fly stick around as a coach? Peter G says, Titch will only get a game should something happen to Long or Pendles, even maybe Sidey. Yeah, that's what it looks like right now. Dimmy says, we need to take this game seriously. We'll be almost 3 games clear on top. Sounds wild, doesn't it? Yeah. Vossi has a gig as a security guard at Sewn Up. Savage. All right, guys, look, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to head over to the Fams and watch some, hopefully watch a cracker of a game between Collingwood and Carlton. Collingwood and Carlton is next Friday, not tonight, but it's Carlton and Port Adelaide. So that will should be a good game either way. So anyways, thanks for sticking around, and we will see you tomorrow evening at around 6. Have I got it for 6? I think 6 o'clock for a pre-game show, and then the post-game show, which will be around 10:45, 11 p.m. Saturday night. So we'll see you then, guys.